Our next guest is a friend of the show, Fox Sports' Doug Gottlieb. And I do not know, Doug, did you know that Dan was out today and you were talking to the Danettes?
Fair question.
I did. I woke up to frantic texts from Todd Fritz, something along the lines of, "These guys can't carry the show by themselves. I'm reaching out to anybody with a cell phone." That was generally the context of the text I got from
That's
Fritz.
pretty much how that went down.
Yeah. We have a lot of topics for you, but let's start with the Clemson quarterback, Kelly Bryant, transferring. What do you think of his decision?
Well, look, I understand when you get beat out. You go to school, you wait, you bide your time, you got a chance to start for them last year. He starts for him this year, and then he gets usurped by a freshman. And with the new rule, he can actually redshirt this year. This is going to be a redshirt year. I just don't understand why you would transfer. Like college basketball players do this too. Why you transfer, mid-year? Just wait. I mean, how much college football do we have to see that a guy gets hit, a guy gets hurt, a guy has a bad stretch, and like you got Clemson, you got a chance to win a national championship. I'm not saying you have to stay, but stay through the season, and then you this idea that the second I get beat out, I'm out, deuces, because you're upset with how the situation was handled. This is. I'm a transfer. I transferred obviously for other reasons, but I was considering transferring anyway. But I hate this. I got beat out. I want to leave right now, sort of thing. Catch your breath. You can wait till semester and you can go.
Doug, do you think it's going to be the opposite strategy for Jalen Hurts at Alabama? I'll stay. I'll be ready to play when I'm needed to, but I'm probably not playing the quarterback position in the NFL. So if I play the good soldier at Alabama, I could go into the NFL as a 4th or 5th round draft choice, like Taysom Hill out of BYU, and be a return guy, a running back, an all-purpose emergency quarterback.
Maybe. I also think Jalen's going to graduate, I think, this year. So if he waits, he can transfer and play right away wherever he wants to go. And, yeah, he gets a chance maybe to win back-to-back national titles. And also, hey, what's to say that Tua doesn't get hurt because, it's a position to which he doesn't run as much as Jalen does, but you do run around a bunch back there. But I don't fault kids for transferring. I mean, I go somewhere you're going to play. I thought what Jalen said, probably not really true, but what he said after the national championship game was amazing, right? How you're cheering for another teammate. Like, I've always struggled to have that in me. Like, I'll cheer and I'll be the good soldier, but in my heart of hearts, I want to be out there. So I don't fault anybody for go somewhere you're going to play. Win or lose, you're going to be happier that way. But the idea of transferring mid-season, the second you get beaten out, second that somebody makes a change on the depth chart, that's the one that I can't get down with. That's not being a good teammate. That's not what sports is about, in my personal opinion.
All right, Doug, today's poll question: should the NFL change the roughing the quarterback rule, just ask officials to quietly call it less, or leave the rule as it is so far this season? What's your answer? I think
it's B. Answer B. Listen, this is obviously a massive. We've seen two kind of massive sea changes in the NFL. First was the use of the helmet rule, which people aren't. The great thing about this roughing the passer is nobody's even talking about the use of the helmet rule, right? It's like, oh yeah, what about that controversy? But Tony Romo's career was ended because of this. Aaron Rodgers' year last year was ended because of this. Now, so you have to consider the alternative. And I think if you're erring on the side of caution, so the quarterbacks don't get hurt, I'm sorry that if defensive players get called for a penalty, and yeah, it does look like they got red jerseys on back there, but fantasy players love it, bettors love it, everybody who's got the over should love it, and quarterbacks are just that important. They're that important an asset. It's. Heck, we protect presidents long after anybody's ever going to go after them because, no one's going after, Jimmy Carter, but we're going to protect him. Why? Because he's an incredible asset. He's important to our country. It's what he represents, right? Same thing with the quarterback. They represent your entire franchise.
I got to agree with you, Doug. If you land with your full body weight on Jimmy Carter, you're in a heap of trouble these days. I don't even know the rules. Joining us now on the Dan Pat Show.
Think what would happen if you took Jimmy Carter all the way to the ground. I mean, that would not end well.
But Jimmy's a man of principle. He would not flop like Ben Roethlisberger with a little head tap. He's a tough guy.
Oh, I mean, of all the guys, and then Ben Roethlisberger with his phony answer afterwards about how he feels bad for defensive players. Like, Dude, come on.
All right, Doug Gottlieb of Fox Sports joining us on the Dan Patrick Show. I'm going to play you a piece of sound, and I bet I know your answer. Here's Tiger Woods talking about his all-time Mount Rushmore of golf.
My all-time Mount Rushmore of golf. Okay, well, probably Snead, Jones, Nicklaus, me.
Now, Tiger Woods is just about stating a fact there and not an opinion, and no one's really calling him out on it. Would you have rather him gone faux humility and not answered the fourth one, or do you like that he said, hey, it's me and we all know it?
I would have rather them just at the end listed 3 and then just look at the camera.
Big smile.
Smile.
Yeah.
Right? That would have been that $1 billion smile. Hey, did you? This is more poll question. Did you guys do the yesterday the greatest individual comeback, like personal comeback?
No, we didn't. How'd that play out in your show?
I didn't, kind of survey radio. I'm not, let's try not to. But we talked about it a little bit. I mean, Lance's thing ended up being kind of, all based upon performance-enhancing drugs, so he took himself off the list. Agassi came back from meth. And a wig. Agassi had the wig and meth. That was pretty big. And he landed a beautiful wife, kids, Steffi Graf, kids, and he became the number 1 player in the world. So I don't know. Like Agassi is one that comes to mind. People say Ben Hogan because he almost died, but I don't know much about Ben Hogan. I'm no disrespect. So I don't know. I think it's a fascinating thing. What's amazing is we've gone from him being the punchline to so many jokes to I don't know anybody whose Sunday wasn't at least like, dude, I can't believe this is really happening. He didn't just beat. I know it was a small field, but I mean, look at the names of that field, and it leads us. We were in a place in golf where Dan used to do, Tiger of the field. And I don't think you'd take Tiger over the field maybe ever, but you'd at least consider it now where in the past you'd never even consider him a favorite to truly win the thing.
Doug, by the way, if you have poll question suggestions, you can text us in the morning. We need help.
Yeah, can you wake up like 4:45 Pacific time and fire up the computer?
Yeah, I'll fire. Listen, I love listening when you guys come up with the me to put it on the poll. The poll questions. If I have one, I will fire it away. Or I'll just put it on the old Twitter machine.
Doug, final minute on the NBA. I have a theory that the Lakers and the Warriors are the only teams that play truly nationally, where you got nothing to do and the Warriors are playing or Lakers are playing, you'll just tune in. Should the Warriors and Lakers games be bumped up an hour to embrace the East Coast basketball fan? Now, that would be 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern time, because a lot of their games, I was looking at the TNT TBS schedule, start at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be hard to get people in Baltimore, New York, Washington, D.C., Miami, huge NBA markets, to tune in for the first half.
Do you know how bad that would be at Staples or at Oracle in terms of trying to get people there?
Yes.
Like you can't do it. You can't get people there. I mean, I don't have to describe to people on the East Coast what an epic and complete traffic disaster it is. But it'd be impossible to fill the arena. And, people would look at Pac-12 games. They try and put them on at 6:00.
What about seat fillers? It's Los Angeles, like the Oscars. Just get a bunch of seat fillers until the real people get there. A bunch of handsome young people.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. The problem is everybody's got a job now, right? You go back to 2010, and that would have been easy to find. Now it's really hard. Although down at Staples, that's become kind of that's a really hot spot now. So I'm sure there's plenty of millennials that'll sit in that think they want to be extras in Stallone's next movie, and so they'll be sitting in there. That's actually not a terrible idea. But starting a game at 6:30 on the West Coast is a terrible idea.
Doug Gottlieb of Fox Sports. Give us a terrible idea as his out cue. Thank you, buddy. Talk to you next time. Dan 6 out.
Later, boys.
That was Doug Gottlieb of Fox Sports.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.